Slee, we spoke to you just moments ago. You showed us some devastating scenes. One can just imagine years and years of work, so much money down the drain. Gauteng Premier David Makhura is there. Is this visit more than just politicking?
Well, I think we're yet to find out. The Premier will be holding a short media briefing. He's still trying to get a sense of the amount of destruction and what still needs to be done. But as you can see behind me, I'm just going to move out of shot. We do have at least one shop here in the Pan district, which is basically the central business district of Alexandra. One of the shops here that actually has survived and not been looted. And what we understand is that the shop owner has now basically hired a truck and is trying to get his stock out just in case there is another flare-up later on. So I'm just going to ask Nijusu to speak to me. Hi, sir. I understand, of course, that this is your store, and now you're trying to get anything that you can get out of the store in order to be able to save it.
Yeah, as you see here, they burned and they took all the stuff from the shops. Luckily, my shop is safe for now, so we don't know what will going to happen from now. That's why I'm trying to take out some few stuff.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be able to open the shop again, or are you too afraid to open the store again?
I don't know. Yeah. We will see how is the situation.
Do you know why they are looting the shops?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
What would you like to see happen from police and from government?
Yeah, the government is supposed to protect us. As you see, all foreigners are not criminals. Yeah, we will live there as few criminals. But that is, they are not supposed to include all of us with criminality. So some of us, we are just surviving. We are doing small businesses to survive. So they just punish us with no reason. Yeah, so at the moment, we don't know what the cause of this looting. This is just criminality. Yeah.
So you don't think it's xenophobia, it's criminals? A bit of both?
Yeah, I think it, because even the government did not say anything. Yeah, so I think this is a xenophobia.
Yeah. All right. As you can hear, Michelle, some mixed emotions from one of the shop owners who says all they're really asking for is for government to protect them, for the police to protect them. They've seen very little of that over the past couple of days, and he's just saying that what he is trying to do is salvage anything that he can from his store, and he says that he's only just trying to make an honest living here in South Africa.
Slee, before we let you go, is that the trend that you're seeing, shops that have survived the looting overnight, that today they are packing up?
That is the trend. That is the trend, Michelle. In fact, earlier on, I had another shop owner who his shop is still closed and has also survived the looting, but he's also just waiting for a truck to be able to make it into the area in order for him to be able to open up and get some of his stuff out. Because, I mean, most of the shops that have been looted have also been burnt to the ground. There's almost nothing left. And in fact, earlier on, we saw some very painful scenes of some of those shop owners just trying to salvage anything they can. But Michelle, I think I just want to quickly take you down to the media briefing that looks like it's about to start. We do have, of course, the Gauteng Police Commissioner as well as Premier David Makhura here with us in Alexandra.
Yes, we are here in Alexandra. Basically we were sitting in the legislature this morning, and I asked the members of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature that we should adjourn and all of us go throughout the province in our own constituencies to make sure we calm down the situation. The police have been working on this from yesterday in some of the areas. In fact, in Tshwane, it was from last week in a GP hostel from Sunday. The police have been working, but we decided that instead of sitting in the legislature today going through annual report, all members of the legislature and all the parties agreed that we should all go out to different communities to talk to our communities, talk to people, to make sure that this criminal element that has seeped into this is brought to book. The police have arrested several people, more than 80 people from yesterday. Just here in Alexander, 7 people were arrested. And when we say that, in fact, this is a calculated criminal act, we can now see that it was calculated. You can see a bolt cutter was used to cut open the doors here. And basically, last night from 2:30 a.m., very well orchestrated, well organized, using also the torch cutter that is often used to cut steel to open here. We can see that this was informed purely by the criminal motive, because everything was stolen from this building, after which the shops were torched. I want to make a call to the people of our province that police all over the province, police reinforcements are happening. The police are dealing with the situation. I issued a statement earlier today that I will not hesitate to call on the President and the Minister of Defense to reinforce the police if the situation is out of control. The very reason why we decided to suspend the sitting in the legislature is because all of us are very concerned about what is happening. Criminals essentially have taken over in many areas, burning down buildings, shops, and the first thing that happens in there is looting. We want to call on the people of our province that this is something that must not happen, and we're very clear that others are having, there's a xenophobic sentiment underlying this about foreigners having to leave. We are a democracy, we are a democratic society. We can't allow people to take the law into their own hands. There is no country that doesn't have foreign nationals. And the issues we have been working on is to ensure that we deal with all the issues. Yes, every country has to deal with the issues of refugees, asylum seekers who are running away from war, who are running away from conflict. Every civilized country, self-respecting democracy will have ways of dealing with that. Yes, we are also dealing, with illegal and undocumented foreign nationals, because that's a big challenge. People who cross our borders into our country, bringing not just themselves, but also bringing things that we don't need, including the previous week we were dealing with basically the counterfeit goods. Yes, it is important that we strengthen border security, but we can do so without resorting to xenophobia. We can do so without xenophobic violence. And we can do so without allowing the criminals who want to use this situation for their own selfish benefit. We want to make sure that the province, throughout the province, it is calm. All MECs in Gauteng and members of the provincial legislature have been dispatched to different areas. These attacks on shops, the looting, as well as the burning down of buildings took place only in 3 metros in Tshwane. We all know there it started with an incident relating to a taxi driver who was killed, and then in Ekurhuleni yesterday, and then in Johannesburg. We want to make sure that the people of our province understand nobody must take the law into their own hands, and the criminals who want to seize this opportunity must be put behind bars. So I've said to the police, everything must be done. We must do police reinforcements everywhere. At the same time, as members of the provincial legislature, we are talking to our constituencies everywhere. We know from time to time people raise concerns about these issues of foreign nationals. We say these issues can be dealt with without resort to xenophobic violence or xenophobia as a whole. We need to ensure that we address these issues from the point of view of law enforcement. Everything must be done from the point of view of law. And the law enforcement agencies must do their work. They must arrest anyone violating our our laws, regardless of nationality. Crime is crime, criminality is criminality, regardless of nationality. That's what the police have to do to ensure that we safeguard our province. So we are going to be doing that, going to different areas. We have meetings also with various stakeholders. That includes those that the religious leaders who also want to help come into these areas, but also those areas where there are organized groups, like the people at the GP hostel. We are going to go there this afternoon and meet with people. I want to again repeat that we are calling for calm. Nobody should take the law into their own hands. It is very clear that some of these are very well organized criminal syndicates, because you can see the kind of stuff they use to break into these shops and what exactly they are looking for. One of the things that happened here yesterday, as you can see, even the vegetables have been vandalized by the criminal elements. There can be no justification. I want to repeat, this cannot be justified by unemployment or people who are unhappy. This can't be justified. We are a self-respecting democracy. We have to ensure that we respect the laws. And it is the police who must do their work and bring everybody to book who is breaking any laws in our country. So thank you very much. If you have one or two questions, we can do so.
Some foreign national traders are requesting for compensation.